Hey guys, Roblox School here. Today I'm going to tell you tips and tricks about Tower of Hell, like what should you do, tips, stuff like that. How do you become better with Tower of Hell? Now, tips. I really have some good tips, and so I'll start for number one tip. Number one tip is turn off the music and just focus. If you're in somewhere that is too loud or you're listening to the music in the game or listening to other music, turn it off because it's going to distract you a lot. And I used to open the music in Tower of Hell, and it just, it just messes you up a lot because your brain can't handle anything at once, and it's really hard to focus. And so this is the number one tip I would really recommend. Anybody, if you're in anybody's chat, then go ahead. If you're like in anybody's chat, like let me say voice chat on Discord, right? I would recommend maybe never, like, tell them to be quiet. Just tell them I'm gonna deafen so I can focus, or tell them in a polite way. If these tips don't work for you, then I don't know, but I hope they work for you. I guess it honestly is. It's good for you, cause if you don't have any music, it's like when you're studying, right? Your brain can't focus. But yeah, I don't like. I mean, like, no music, no nothing. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say this. But yeah, or just tell your friend to politely just be quiet. Hang on, why am I getting lag? I think I'm recording. Yeah, that's okay. Anyways, tip number 2, I believe. Yeah. Tip number 2. Okay, how do I say? Okay. So I recommend you don't go to the Pro Tower of Hell, or do not go from like new towers, and then go ahead a ways and go to the Tower of Hell. So because that's going to be a big problem, and that won't help you improve your skills. Now, because there's no timer limit, and a timer limit has to make you good, because you wanna finish your obby fast as possible, right? And so that's kind of a problem for all of us, right? We want to quickly finish the obby and make sure nothing goes wrong or something like that. But when we do that, then something goes wrong. So I recommend at least get 5 wins. Alright? Once you got 5 wins in the new towers, I recommend you move to Pro Towers. And then when you move to Pro Towers, then try to challenge yourself. Do any win. I would recommend for this one 10 wins at least. It might be hard for you at the beginning, but the more practice it will give you, the more better it will be. But sometimes you will mess up. There's no guarantee. Like sometimes Pinkleaf, right? He never messes up, but sometimes he does. Okay, because there's a chance. Okay, tip number 3: never rush until you feel like it. So I recommend you never rush in Tower of Heck, because when you rush, stuff can go down. And when stuff goes down, then it doesn't feel too great about it. And so that's a problem. So I recommend you never rush until you become a pro. I honestly am in the way of rushing at this point, but I learned maybe not rushing is not a good idea. And and this game was, this game was like to test your skills. And if you're gonna play any other game, and you, like, let's just say the Bloxy Awards, right? Like, imagine they they made where you have to do this obby, this hardest obby, and you have to be prepared. So I honestly think Tower Hell is your good way to practice your skills, because it's a game that where everybody gets mad and stuff like that. But honestly, it helps you focus. I think that's tip number 2. I think. Tip number 3: don't panic. I panic a lot when I get on the last stage, and then I fall, and then I get mad. And that's because I am panicking. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. I can't mess up. Just know, if you do fall, it's okay. You can just get back up. Just like I did right here. I'm not even mad about it. I'm going back up that. But you should never, like, literally get mad about it. It's it's helping your skills. And this actually improved for me a lot, which I'd recommend, I guess. Recommend. Because, it's the way that I express myself. And, I think it's better. Okay, tip number 4. For tip number 4, it's about when you die and get mad. So if you ever get mad, which I kind of do these days, but now I'm not too worried about it. I don't really care. But if you ever do get mad, I'd recommend you just leave the game, go relax, and then join back when you think you can do this again. This tip is great, but honestly, bruh. Because here's the thing, I panic all the time, and then I get mad. So what I do in my meanwhile, just to relax myself, I play Jailbreak or other games I'd recommend. Going back to a new server won't help your anger at all. I would recommend you take a break for 5 minutes. Anyways, tip number 5. Tip number 5 is basically try not to give up. Once you failed, you keep failing at the next stage. Just don't stand there. Don't stay there and go like, hey, I give up. Anyone who wants to dance with me, then come right here with me. Come on, don't give up. I honestly used to do that, and I could have gotten a win. You never know. Maybe you can try again, and then you get the win. And I recommend this tip because I actually gave up. I was about to do it, but I tried one more time, and I actually did the tower. Now, I can't believe that actually worked, but, I think it's a good tip. Don't give up. Don't go like, anyone wanna dance with me? Because only if you give up. And I see a lot of people say no, and no, I don't give up. I'm going to still try. And I see that in a lot of servers. And I honestly think that's a good idea. Tip number 6. When you fall, just make you to laugh. Honestly, to not make your anger and aggression. I know this is not a pro tip, by the way. It doesn't really help. You'll just get worse. The more screaming you do, the more hitting you'll do. Your body condition will get worse. And number 7. Alright. Number 7 is the most tip. Practice, practice, practice. You need the most practice, and you cannot give up. Because if you don't have practice, you can't get good at the game. And that's what I didn't do. So sometimes take some practice. And make sure you do some breaks if you're really going to listen to this tip to actually practice. But yeah, I'd recommend practicing, practice. Practice helps you out the most. And anyways, it would help you out the most, and because of this, it kind of made me a pro. Practicing made me a pro. And also, just like you saw on screen, this is my tip number 7. Do not panic when you fall. Let's say you fell, right, and you were at that stage, do not panic. Do not just go like, woo, woo, and then panic and then freak out and die. Don't fall off. You gotta quickly think about what you're gonna do and then quickly do the obby again. Especially this type does work for me. I used to fall a lot, and as you guys can see, I didn't quickly think about that, what to do there, so I did die, of course. For that reason, I recommend you don't do that. Like, don't panic, don't keep moving. Just stop for a second, and if you see any lasers, then you have to jump immediately. Just don't go like, oh my god! And that's like what happened to me a lot. Like, I was gonna go like, like that, and it doesn't really help you. It just makes you worse at the game because it can potentially help. And number 8 is the lag. As you guys can see, since I'm recording this, giving me kind of lag, and which I have to fix. I don't like giving me lag, but this is gonna be painful for you because last time when I was not recording, I made it to like a stage, but then I died. But now with the lag, I can't even do it. But yeah, and if you have lag, then you have to practice with lag. I mean, practicing with lag was my thing back then, and I was really good with lag. And now, like, I'm getting 60 frames because I'm recording. It makes me more efficient, but stuff does feel weird. I don't know which one I'd recommend, but I honestly would prefer lag. But I'll say both are 50%. You know, it's just kind of a tie. It's just a tie for me, and I don't really give a care. See, that guy, he had to quickly think about what he was doing. But yeah, I would just say 50% for both of them. This really helps. I think that was tip number 8. So tip number 9 will come up. Tip number 9 is kind of a good one. If you think, I think I already told you guys about this tip, but don't let, this second tip will actually really help. And even if someone's in your room, just tell them to politely get out, because if you're having that problem, you panic when your friend is watching or something, then that's a big problem with you and nobody can help. And that was always a big problem with me, so I'd recommend y'all actually, do this one, because that's gonna panic you. Until you're really good, then you can do it. I used to panic when everybody was watching me, but now I think about it, I'm not panicking anymore. I'm perfectly fine. Like, I have no problem. Also, close the chat for no lag, by the way. And if someone's really being like, someone calls you excusing you, because sometimes you might get in their way and they might fall and they'll excuse you, just close the chat and ignore them and continue. That's tip number 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this tip video. If these tips do actually work, let me know in the description. And there's my problem with hate. I'm not going to explain why this is happening. I know who's doing it. Alright? And they're doing this on purposely, so please stop. You know who you are. You're doing this on purpose. And if I have to do this, then I might have to comment. Anyways. Like and subscribe and notifications on. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Man, I don't know. What's my button for ending my recording?